Hey, what's up everybody? It's me Kakashi at K2 here, and I'm back with another video in Silk Road Simulator, or Silk Road Trading Simulator. Today we're going to be talking about religion in the game. Religion is a pretty important feature as it can significantly increase the amount of money that you make, and significantly decrease the amount of money that you buy things at. But before we actually get into the three religions that we have here in the game to work with, which are Judaism, Zoroastrianism, I think that's how you pronounce that, and Christianity, I want to quickly talk about how religion works in general. Just a few prerequisite things to get you in the know about how religion works, and how to essentially get the perks that you want. So, the way that religion works is that depending on the religion that you are, you're going to need to go to your specific holy site building. As this account is Jewish, I have to go to a synagogue. There are synagogues in every single city. There are churches and cathedrals in every single city as well. But there is only one fire shrine in the game. Fire shrines are for Zoroastrianists. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but whatever. There is only one fire shrine in the entire game, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. This is the Tyre synagogue, and as we go inside, the guy outside just tells you that it's a synagogue. We can meet the shopman, the salesman. He will sell you the command necklace, but there is also the cross necklace, and there is the kushti rope. All three of these items are used for your specific religion. Obviously, the cross is for Christianity, and the kushti rope is for Zoroastrianism. But these items are going to subtract 50% of your faith loss or your faith degradation. Faith degradation is basically if you click C and you go to your character screen, you can see your prayer faith stat right here. Shows you how many faith you have or how much faith you have. Over time, your faith will drain, and the Kushti rope, or in this case, the command necklace, is going to help with that by 50%. So they're pretty necessary in the game to maintain your perks, as you can see right here. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but I do highly recommend buying yourself these faith degradation items really, really early on in the game. I believe they're all 80 gold or 80 dollars, but I could be wrong on that. Anyway, so with that all being said, how do we gain faith and what does gaining faith do? So, in the game, you just need to go to your specific respective holy site building, go up to the altar or wherever you can pray and press E. You'll slowly over time gain faith, about 1 faith per second, until you get to a maximum of 500 faith in the game. You can only, I believe, pray up to 100 points per session. Once you pray over 100 points or get to that cap, you have to wait an hour before you can pray again. So this stops you from just blitzing to the maximum perk 3, off rip in the game. You have to wait a little bit before you can actually get to perk 3. With that all being said, again, like I said, over time, your faith will drain. So as your faith drains, you need to go back to holy sites to replenish your faith. You can get to, like I said before, a maximum of 500 faith, as you can see right here. But getting to perk 3 does not necessarily take 500 faith to get to. A lot of people like getting to 500 faith is to give them a little bit of a cushion between them losing perk 3, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Just make sure that you have enough faith to maintain your perk 3. Speaking of perk 3 and the perks are what you're trying to get by increasing your faith. You will always be given perk 1 no matter how much faith you have in the game. I don't know the faith amounts you need to unlock perk 2 and to unlock perk 3, but I'm pretty sure perk 3 unlocks around 300 faith, and I think perk 2 unlocks around 100, 150 faith, but again, I could be wrong on that. Now, with that all being said, you are pretty well versed now in how religion works. There really isn't too much else to talk about in terms of what else you need to know about it. We will talk about Zoroastrianism a little bit later in the video, as that one's a little bit unique right now. Again, the game is in early access, so there's a lot to be changed. A lot is subject to change, but as of right now, what I can safely say is that Zoroastrianism is the worst religion in the game, Christianity is the second best religion in the game, and Judaism is the best religion in the game by far. I'm going to quickly flash on the screen right now all of the different perks that you can get from each religion, but I'm going to also really quickly just give a brief synopsis of what each religion does in terms of the perks that you get. So Judaism's best perk is definitely going to be the third perk that they have, which is Master of Trade. But the second perk that they have, which is Merchant Literacy, is also extremely good. These two perks are Judaism's strongest asset. They are just really, really, really good for making money. You can make serious amounts of money with these two perks. And all in all, it adds to Judaism being the top religion to choose in the game for making money. Christianity is a little bit different. Christianity has a large focus on trying to reduce the damage that negative penalties have on the amount of money that you make or the amount of money that you buy things for. These are pretty negligible because they're not really that. I mean, you have like a 3% boost out at the first perk, which is kind of debatably bad because I think the cosmopolitan bonus for Christians that spawn in Damascus is taken away. I could be wrong on that though. If somebody wants to fact check that, please do. But the other perks are honestly kind of useless, and I don't even know what the second perk does in all honesty. So if somebody wants to explain that to me, please do. Penalties are pretty negligible later on in the game though. Late game, you don't really need to worry about it. So Christianity is kind of just a waste of time religion. And Zoroastrianism is really okay, but it's kind of clear why Zoroastrianism is the worst religion in the game, and that's because there's only one fire shrine. I mentioned it previously in the video, but because there's only one fire shrine, you do not take advantage of that second perk, which gives you 5% boost in cities with the fire shrine. And on top of that, you also are not going to be able to keep the third perk because there is one fire shrine. The third perk is actually pretty decent. That 10% boost on all metal sold or any crafting materials. I think that also includes leather. Leather is one of the best things to trade in the game right now. So it's actually the third perk is pretty good. The big issue with the third perk though is that you need a lot of faith to maintain it, and because there's only one shrine, walking back to Ctesiphon just to pray a little bit to maintain your religion is really, really stressful to do. If you can maintain the faith, it's actually a pretty decent religion. But just because there's only one fire shrine, just because you can never really take advantage of that second perk, you don't want to sell things in Ctesiphon. Ctesiphon is not a really a good place to sell items. It's not a good trade city. It's just a completely useless religion, and that first perk there is just a bad negative thing. You don't really need to worry about it. Again, penalties are pretty negligible later on in the game as of right now. But again, it's not a good thing either. You know what I mean? It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of a waste of space there. With that all being said, though, that is my assessment of all three religions in the game. I think it's pretty clear to the community as of right now that Judaism is just the best religion in the entire game, without a doubt. You make the absolute most money with Judaism. But if anybody wants to, try things out, they want to work with Christianity, or they want to try and keep the faith with Zoroastrianism, be my guest. With that all being said, though, that's really all you need to know about religion. There really isn't much else to be talked about. Again, as they update the game, they're probably going to add a lot more to religion, bolster it a little bit more. And people are saying that they might be adding Islam as a religion as well. There's some people buying stuff there. They might be adding Islam as a religion as well, so we'll keep a lookout for that. But as of right now, that is all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. If I missed anything or got anything wrong, please let me know, and I'll be sure to see you guys in the next video.